SARA DIETSCHY boosted board stealth response video. What up YouTube? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. This video, wow, let's talk about what is going on with the boosted boards right now. So this morning when I woke up, I went to Facebook. Right when I went to Facebook, the first thing that was on Facebook was this little article that someone shared from Reddit. And I clicked on it because it was a boosted board stealth and the back wheel was like, was broken off basically. Like in the photo it looked like the wheel just broke off, right? On the Reddit post. And I was really surprised to see that this was a video by SARA DIETSCHY. Now if you guys don't know who SARA DIETSCHY is, the YouTuber, she lives in New York, she makes tech review videos and she also makes a lot of electric skateboard review videos, and I have to say her videos are dope. Her videos look a whole lot better than some of the dudes out there in New York that makes boosted board and electric skateboard review videos. So her videos are on point, but the video I saw this morning was, she was in New York on the West Side Highway, and if you guys don't know anything about the West Side Highway, the West Side Highway is a really good place to skate because it's really smooth and it's really flat, there's no bumps. I would think that this would be a really safe place to ride, especially if there's no one around, you know, you don't have to worry about bumps or cars or any of that. So she's riding in the video, and I will have a link to the video down below. I don't want to show parts of the video in this video because I don't want to do that. She's riding and everything looks normal, and I believe she was going 22 or 24 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden, you know, she slows down, and then the next scene you see that basically the wheel is broken off the board. But if you look really closely, the wheel did not exactly break off. In the past, I've heard of a few boosted boards, like the back wheel, like the back truck, it literally breaks off, like it completely breaks off. But in Sarah's Instagram story that she shared, the wheel did not break off. It looked as if the bearings just got too hot and the wheel just sort of slid off. Later in her Instagram story, she was saying how she was slowing down, and all of a sudden she noticed that the wheel was like about to come off, and when she stopped, the wheel was basically hanging off. So it didn't technically like break off, like break off. Like I literally had a wheel break off on me, what, a week ago? Well, it didn't break off, but kind of the same thing happened, like the wheel just came off. Looking at the photos, it just looks like, it looks pretty dang intense. Like it looked like the whole inside got melted. Gosh, she was only going like 22 miles an hour, and I would think that the West Side Highway would be a pretty safe place to ride, but looks like this was a bearing problem. Maybe the bearings just got too hot because she was going too fast. But that also makes me wonder about some of these DIY electric skateboards. I know people that go like 30 miles an hour on some of these trampas, and why aren't those bearings getting really hot and doing the same thing that happened to SARA DIETSCHY's board? On the boosted, it looked like the freaking bearings were like crystallized, and I just think that's kind of a trip. Now, a lot of people have been questioning me, Jermaine, when are you going to get the new boosted boards? Are you going to get the Stealth? Are you going to get the Mini? Are you going to get the Plus? I just bought another boosted board last week. I've been having a lot of problems with my boosted board. Like last year was great. Like had a board, put 4,000 miles on it, had literally no problems. But this year it's like not the same. I got a new board earlier this year and I put maybe like 1,500 miles on it. And after about 600 miles, the motors start to make these really loud noises. And I would go out and ride with the groups in the Bay Area, and everyone would tell me like, you're bored, like your motors are really loud, you should send a video to Boosted and they'll switch out your motors. So I did that, and I waited a week. Boosted emailed me back telling me, clean out your motors, take off the motor caps, and just make sure there's no rubbish or anything in between the motors and the belts. And I completely did that, and the board completely sounds the same. And then after maybe another week or so, the board like doesn't cut on anymore, and I was like literally going out of town like the next day, so I did not have a box to like mail it back to Boosted. So I just left the board back in San Francisco, went down to LA with no board, and then after 3 days I'm like, yo, this really sucks with no boosted board. So I just bought a boosted board off of like Facebook. And then that boosted board is like broken down now. And now this new boosted board that I bought with like 500 miles, it's broken down too. However, I'm still able to ride it, but it's not like, it's doing a lot of weird things. Like one of the motors just randomly cuts off, and then I have to get off the board, cut the board off, and then cut the board back on, and then I can ride again. But whenever I hit certain bumps, not really big bumps, but when I hit certain bumps, it just cuts off, like completely like cuts off. And it's like annoying because I can hit like really big bumps in the street and it's good, but the bumps that like literally cut the board off, you guys know when you're in the bike lane and it's like spray painted on the street, it looks like a bike, right? Whenever I run over that thing, it cuts off. Like I can run over a pothole and it doesn't cut off, but if I run over that little bike emblem or the thing that says bike, because it's like raised up like this much off the street, it literally cuts off one of the motors and I have to like stop, get off and ride again. So this year, like I really haven't like had like the best time with my boosted board. Like it's really awesome to get around, but like my boards are like always broken down now. This week I was totally down to just go and buy a brand new boosted board, but of course like all of the boosted boards were sold out on Boosted site. I could have got one off Amazon, but the pricing was not the same on Amazon. On the Boosted site, it was like a little bit cheaper for one of the V2s versus on the Amazon site. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Best Buy had good deals on boosted boards, but once again, it would have to be mailed, and I was just traveling from San Francisco down to LA, and now I'm in Santa Barbara as of now, and tomorrow I'm gonna go back to San Francisco, and then from there, you guys know I'm probably gonna head east. But it's just been kind of a hassle. Like this has been like a rough year with boosted boards for me, and to see the Stealth do this, it just makes me wonder like what's gonna happen now. Looks like they did a really good job on the new trucks. They look to be much stronger than the previous trucks. But great, the trucks are not breaking, but now something else is breaking. I don't know, I'm not trying to make a rant video because like I said, I love boosted, but like just the past couple of months, like I've had like a lot of problems with my boosted board, like with my boosted boards. Like pretty much all of my electric skateboards, there's something wrong with them. Like literally all of them. And I even lost the boosted board this year too, so that's a bummer too. I'm just not having the best time right now. Like literally, I should have just stayed in Southeast Asia and just not came back to the US, because if I would have stayed there, I would not have this boosted board broken down. I would be somewhere else. And I don't know. I just want to know what you guys think about these new boosted boards. Like, what do you guys think about the wheel, like literally heating up and just coming off? Like that's a trip if you ask me. Like it looked like, from one of the photos, it looked like the nut was still on the truck. Like that's what it looked like. It looked like the inside of the bearings just melted and then the wheel just slid off. Like that's what it looked like. Crazy. Now after I make this video, you guys know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go right back out riding on my boosted, because I don't know how else I'm gonna get around. What is it? Is it the bearings? Like maybe they use different bearings in the Stealth. Like it could be that. Maybe those bearings are like ceramic and they're just not as good as the other bearings. I've just never really heard of that happening with skateboard bearings, like them just getting that hot that they... But also skateboards don't typically go 25 miles an hour or 24 miles an hour or 22 miles an hour. I don't know. It's a trip, guys. What do you guys think in the comments? I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about this, because I think it's creepy, but at the same time, like, I'm not gonna stop riding boosted, you know. Like, I'm still gonna ride, but I'm just gonna have to like just be super careful and hope like my truck don't break, or hope my wheels don't fall off. But I do have a V2, so I should be cool on that. Like that's a V3 that's having those problems. But anyway, I'm out. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace out, yo.